In a world ruled by pirates, warlords, and emperors, strength alone does not decide your fate, because no matter how powerful you become, there is always someone above you, and how you handle that truth determines whether you rise or get crushed. This is law number 1. Never outshine the master. And no character embodies this law with discipline, restraint, and strategy more than Roronoa Zoro. What the law really means. At first glance, this law sounds like weakness. Why hide your strength? Why dim your talent? But this law is not about submission. It is about timing. It is about understanding hierarchy. When you are under someone, your role is not to overshadow. Your role is to strengthen their position. Because if your brilliance threatens them, you don't get promoted, you get removed. Zoro understood this instinctively, not as fear, but as loyalty aligned with ambition. The swordsman with a dream, before the Straw Hat crew. Zoro had a singular goal, to become the world's greatest swordsman. He trained relentlessly, fought endlessly, refused to lose. But everything changed the moment he met Monkey D. Luffy. Luffy wasn't stronger than Zoro at first. Not more skilled, not more disciplined. But Luffy had something Zoro recognized immediately, the position of captain. And Zoro made a decision that defined his entire journey. He would not compete with Luffy. He would elevate him. Loyalty, our strategy? Many see Zoro's loyalty as simple devotion. But look deeper. Zoro never seeks the spotlight over Luffy. Even when he demonstrates incredible power, he frames it as service to his captain. Because in pirate hierarchy, the captain must remain the center. If Zoro outshines Luffy publicly, it creates doubt. And doubt weakens authority. Zoro avoids that at all costs. Not because he lacks confidence, but because he understands structure. In every crew, company, or organization, there must be a clear center of power. Zoro protects that center. The Baratie lesson. When Zoro faces Dracula Mihawk, the world's greatest swordsman, he is completely defeated, broken, overpowered. But what he says afterward defines everything. I will never lose again. And then he declares his loyalty to Luffy. This moment is critical. Zoro doesn't hide his ambition, but he aligns it under Luffy's leadership. He makes it clear his rise will not challenge his captain. It will support him. That is law number 1 in action. Thriller bark, the ultimate sacrifice. When Luffy is unconscious, and Bartholomew Kumo offers a deal. Take all of Luffy's pain, or watch him die. Zoro steps forward, silently. No announcement, no audience, no need for recognition. He takes all of it, almost dies. And when Sanji asks what happened, Zoro replies, nothing happened. That moment is power. Because Zoro could have gained recognition, respect, status. But he chose something greater, protecting the master's image. If Luffy appears weak, the crew weakens. If the captain falls, everything collapses. Zoro understands. His strength must reinforce Luffy's legend, not compete with it. Why this makes Zoro stronger? Here's the paradox. By not outshining Luffy, Zoro becomes even more powerful. Why? Because he earns trust, absolute trust. And trust grants freedom in battle, authority in absence, influence without title. Zoro becomes the silent pillar of the crew. He doesn't need the spotlight, because his position is secured. This is what most people misunderstand. Power is not always visible. Sometimes, the strongest person is the one who doesn't need to prove it. Real-world application. This law applies everywhere. In work, if you constantly outshine your boss publicly, you create insecurity. In school, if you challenge authority aggressively, you create resistance. In leadership, if you undermine your superior, you destabilize your own position. The smarter move? Make your superior look good. Support their authority. Then build your strength quietly. When it's your time to lead, you won't face resistance because you never threatened the system. Final message. Zoro never forgot his goal, to become the greatest swordsman. But he understood something deeper. There is a time to rise, and a time to support. He chose discipline over ego, structure over impulse, strategy over pride. And because of that, he didn't just become strong, he became indispensable. If this changed how you see loyalty, ambition, and power, comment strength with discipline and share this with someone who's trying to rise without understanding the system they're in. Because in every world, pirate crews, companies, governments, power doesn't just belong to the strongest. It belongs to those who understand when to shine and when to let others lead.